Hello, this is made for Glory. I'm Pablo.
Fr Oskari.
And today I'm very excited because I am about to show you something very new and discover a new horizon for you, Fr Oskari. Now, I'm going to show you a song from 1999 from a major band from the 1990s which redefined heavy metal.
Really?
Called Korn. And when it came out, I was at school. They came out with an album which was called Issues, and this was one of their main songs. Now, you have never listened to it, I don't think.
I've never really listened to Korn at all,
At
which is
all?
quite
Okay,
incredible.
good,
I have no why. I have no idea why.
Good.
But,
So, I'm not going to say anything else because I'm really keen for you to see. Now, I've deliberately chosen a video with the lyrics, which kind of looks really tacky, but that way we can actually look at the lyrics straight.
Go for it.
Just a few seconds.
So raw.
Yes!
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Thoughts before he starts singing?
It's really interesting. That's the style.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you call this style? I mean,
So it's effectively, it's the beginnings of nu metal.
yeah, that's what I thought.
So
Yeah.
they start in the mid-90s. The 90s, by the way, I mean, we could talk about this for hours, but the 90s are a very interesting decade for heavy metal because it's a decade of soul-searching. I mean, the world at large, right?
Yeah.
The Cold War has ended, technology is coming in a big way, computers, the internet, and so on and so forth. So you see that in many ways, heavy metal is changing. And you see the big bands, like in the 90s, that, you know, their albums are kind of like, yeah, you know.
And then these new guys coming in like, whoa.
They're new guys. So, for example, Rage Against the Machine.
Right.
And then these guys come along. And it's like, dang, what just happened, right?
Wow.
You listen to that and you think, hang on, what's happened? Yeah?
Exactly.
90s really dominated by bands like Pantera. And then these guys come in and they push the envelope. Now, what's your impression so far?
The sense of raw and kind of, there's a lot of tension that's different from the aggressiveness of, you know, Metallica.
Very good. We'll come back to that. Make a mental note. We'll come back to that. I really want you to listen to the voice. So the name is Jonathan Davis.
Jonathan Davis.
Amazing singer. And the lyrics, as you say, just hold that thought.
Okay, great.
What? I'm just watching you, and I don't know what to do. Thought you were my friend. Seems it never ends.
It's so disturbed.
Yeah.
It's like, ah. I have to say, the style of the video. Doesn't match.
The video. That's why I chose it. He's like, wait, what? So true. So true. You look like Teletubby, like, you know. And God is like, wait, what?
There's this guy, you know, singing in the deep sort of aggressive voice, and there's this tacky sort of karaoke going on.
So true. So true.
Brilliant. Oh my goodness.
So what do you think?
It's so interesting. I would almost like, I would go back to the beginning. We're not gonna go, but anyway, like just to experience the game. But let's keep going. And it's so, the tensions, like different styles and contrasts of just the singing
They're
style.
pushing the envelope. And this is the
Definitely.
thing with nu metal.
Yeah.
They push.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
1999. very soon after bands like Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, like Deftones and so on begin to enter the scene, but they're the first ones.
Wow.
So they define the genre.
Wow.
And even nowadays, you can see that many bands are influenced by bands like
So
Korn.
interesting.
So this is nearly 30 years ago. And yet it sounds so like, wow, what just happened?
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
That's sort of background stuff also. The bass.
The bass is brilliant.
It's all related to all the things I do. Feeling like a bull inside, seeing all the things you try. I am nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
One thing about the music is that it transmits such a tension, such a sort of sense of suffering.
Yes.
But it's interesting because it's not just the aggression, but it's the contrast. Even in the sort of more quiet section, there's this peculiar kind of so much something in the background. Kind of
and this is something, it's so interesting you say that because you've never listened to it, but they are known for those different layers. The fact that the singer sings with, almost, whispering and then sort of guttural voice and then goes back to normal melody. It's spooky, right?
Yeah.
But what is very interesting is that there's a real tension here.
Yeah.
Remember the historical context we're talking about. It's a decade where music itself is trying to find itself. And yet they come up with this, which when you look at the lyrics, that's why I thought it would be interesting to look at the lyrics.
Yeah.
You can see that there is pain.
Yeah.
They're trying to wrestle with, okay, what gives me happiness?
What do you think about the lyrics? Go on.
No, and I just think it's so interesting that despite all the anxiety, despite all the pain, despite all the different layers, of course, we could talk about the musical styles and so on, but they go back to love.
Yeah.
The fact is like, well, can somebody not love me?
Yeah.
Because essentially the lyrics are about the singer or somebody trying to love somebody and they don't receive that love back.
Yeah.
And they're like saying, hey, I'm somebody.
Yeah.
Someone. I need someone because I'm somebody.
Yeah.
Which is very profound.
It is.
Essentially this concept that yes, the world is telling us that we achieve happiness in many different ways, but ultimately we achieve happiness through love. And as Christians we would say through Christ, who is love, right?
Yeah.
But there is that tension there that is just like, well, where do I go from here? Yeah, in terms of like all these things, all these anxieties that come my way.
Yeah.
That is why this type of music was so relevant at the end of the 90s and even nowadays.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it appeals so much to young men because,
it puts in words something that's so common. I'm thinking of, like, some people speak of the 80s and 90s, sort of the children of the divorce generation. Well, it continues, but it's still very much the sort of really, really, a lot of wounds like that, which are hard to put in words. And I had an experience like that in a sense as well. And a lot of heavy metal has to do with that experience, that kind of expressing some of that tension and
the complexity of life as well,
yeah,
which is manifested in the music as well, right?
Exactly.
Like lots of jazzy influences, funky, hip hop, heavy metal, but also again pushing the boundaries in terms of it's no longer glam rock and everything is beautiful. This is messy.
Yeah,
like it's
really
ugly.
messy. Yeah.
And
it's the aesthetics of ugliness and aggression, but in a way that's really measured also and kind of
and
strategic.
really technical.
Yeah.
Now, where we're about to listen now, this second section of the song is really impressive.
So it's a bit faster.
Yeah.
I look, I sign, I need someone inside to help me out with what I'm trying. I'm crying, I'm crying about
Wow. Wow.
Poor guy. Slapping away.
Wow. It's so theological. It's pure theology, you know.
Not sure they had that in mind, but
I keep saying everywhere, but everything is theological to me. So. I mean, it's a cry for communion and
Yes.
for being loved. So. But then almost like a sense of weakness, like.
it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
It didn't there?
Yeah.
Oh wow, wow. That was quite a journey.
I'm exhausted.
I'm completely exhausted, but it was great. I gotta listen to that again.
It was a great album. I remember I was at
Oh,
school
my
with
goodness.
my friends and everything. We used to love that album.
Oh, really?
And on MTV and everything, watching
Wow.
it over and over again. But there was something very unique about Korn that then developed into other bands.
Right.
Because they were pushing, they were pushing the envelope in a way that, oh, dang, this is new.
Yeah.
But as you say, is that longing for someone,
Yeah.
that longing for communion. Ultimately, it's just a reminder, even, all the way to the Greeks, that
Yeah.
we can't achieve happiness
And
unless
you
we
know-
have somebody.
Yeah, and you know what I like about it? Because I say it's theological. Like, to me, almost every music is theological in some way. But especially what I like about this is that, because so much of music tries to give you the sort of nice little consolation in the middle of the sort of loneliness and suffering of human existence. And this is like, look, I don't want the cheap stuff. I'm like, I'm dying here. I'm sort of, it's expressing in a sense the real human condition, which we usually kind of hide away. We sort of, yeah, it's kind of okay, we
You're gonna
cope
be
with a couple-
okay. It's like,
you.
this is messy.
Yeah. So
No, and I think that's why it appeals to so many young people.
Yeah.
Because there's that kind of tension, even in the
and the
music,
search
as we
for
were
an
saying.
authenticity. in a
Exactly.
sense.
They want authenticity.
Yeah.
And so something like that is very appealing. But
Great.
ultimately, again, it goes back to what is the meaning of life.
That was great. Thank you so much, Pablo.
Thank you. Well, hope you enjoyed that. And see you soon.